Hello everybody, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. Oh my gosh, just saying that is giving me all kinds of feels. So my name is Shayan Heather. I am a makeup artist and beauty influencer from Pakistan, and I have an Instagram page at Shayan Heather, so do check me out. Basically, I create content daily and all my content is beauty related and makeup related. And it was on Instagram that a lot of my followers sort of reached out and suggested that I start a YouTube page because my love for makeup is pretty intense and it's pretty out there, and I love talking in general, and when it comes to makeup I can go on and on, I can go on and on, I can go on and on. So I also decided it was a good idea to finally start a YouTube page where I can talk about makeup to my heart's desire and share my thoughts on products and share makeup looks and makeup makeup tricks for all of you who are interested. So I'm really excited about this. Equally nervous as well, if I'm being honest. This is my first ever YouTube video, you guys, so I know there are going to be a lot of mistakes. I know there is going to be a lot that needs improvement. I have been waiting to get the perfect lens, the perfect background setup, the perfect lighting, just the perfect ambience to start YouTube, and you know what, I realized that's not gonna happen all in one go. So it's just, this is it. I'm actually going to post this no matter how this comes out, and I really hope you guys are supportive and that you do not hate on this. Even if you don't like it, just give me time. I will fix all the mistakes that you see in this, and feel free to point them out in the comment section. Honestly, like, let me know how you want me to film YouTube videos. Let me know what type of videos you would like to see. Like, give me all your feedback. I'm up for it, and I will definitely listen and incorporate that into future videos. My goal for today's video was to use as many drugstore products as possible because that's what you guys love. You guys want me to use affordable products that actually work, and I have quite a few that I'm happy to share with you. And I'm going to stop talking now and we're going to get into the makeup look. Okay guys, so starting off, I've already moisturized my skin with Cetaphil, and I've already primed using my trusty MAC Prep and Prime. And now moving on to the next step, which is going to be foundation. I'm going to be using my L'Oreal True Match foundation in the shade Golden Beige. This is one of my favorite drugstore foundations, especially because I'm someone who has very dry skin. And during the winter months, if I want to use a drugstore foundation, this is usually what I would reach for. Also because it's a pretty good shade match. Maybe just slightly lighter for me nowadays, but usually it matches me pretty well. And I'm going to stamp this on my face using my Beautify by Amna Beauty Blender. Foundation blender, I think it's called. Yeah. I already dampened it for once I remembered to do that. And I'm going to take just like a pump of the L'Oreal foundation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in a liquid highlighter with this. I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution liquid highlighter. The shade I use is Liquid Bronze Gold. Now, I've tried this highlighter a couple of different ways, and I feel like I've mixed this into my foundation. I have applied this on top of my foundation, and this is actually, it's a pretty potent highlighter. So I would compare this to the Cover FX highlighters that are also like pretty intense. I mixed 2 to 3 drops in with my foundation, in with the same foundation actually a while ago, and I felt like a disco ball, like all over my face. So I realized you don't need a lot of this. So today I'm going to try and just mix about that much. So that was just 1 drop, and I'm going to see if that does a better job. I'm just going to mix both of these in with my finger, and I'm going to make sure that I mix this really well. And then I'm going to apply this with my finger all over my face, and then stamp it in with my beauty blender, with my foundation blender from Beautify by Amna. It's not the beauty blender. During the winter months, I don't know about you guys, but I want my foundation to look extra glowy because my skin looks pretty red on its own. Now, this foundation usually works well for people who have, I mean, it works really well for people with dry skin, But even if you are combination, you can make this work. You just have to powder your T-zone. If you're someone who's particularly oily, then I do not recommend this foundation. I feel like it's not going to sit well on your skin for too long. As your oils start to come through, you will notice that this foundation is not wearing as beautifully as you would have preferred. Okay, so that is one layer of foundation stomped on my face. Now, moving on to concealer. I'm going to be using a lot of Makeup Revolution products in this tutorial because that's a brand that I've been loving lately. I got two of their concealers. I got the shade C12 and I got the shade C9. So the C12 I got because I thought it's going to do a good job at covering my dark circles, and the C9 I got in case I want to highlight certain areas of my face. So this is the shade C12, and I've used this before and I liked the coverage on this. I do find that these crease, so it's probably a good idea to set this with powder sooner rather than later. So this is the shade C12. I think it's done a pretty decent job actually. I mean, considering I did not color correct or anything, I think it's done a pretty good job. Okay, now do I want to use C9 to highlight? Okay, why not? I've not done this before, so this could either look really, really good or be a complete disaster. Let's find out. I mean, who leaves all the experimentation to their first YouTube video? Who does that? Not bad actually, I like that. So I'm someone who has the smallest forehead in the world, so I can get away with highlighting a little bit higher just because I want my forehead to appear larger. But if you're someone with a slightly bigger forehead, then maybe you want to avoid taking a highlight all the way up there. Okay, having done that, this is what the foundation is looking like right now. I'm going to set some of my face with powder because I know this concealer tends to crease, and for that I'm going to use my Golden Air Spot, and I'm going to use my same Beautify by Amna foundation blender to set the powder under my eyes. Before you set your concealer, just make sure there are no creases, because if your concealer has already creased and you set it with powder, essentially you're just setting your creases with powder and then you're not going to get rid of them. Now I have two options. I could either use the Rimmel Natural Bronzer, this is in the shade 025 Sun Glow, or I could use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Medium Tan. Now medium tan tends to look more natural on me. This is generally the product that I reach for more, but I want to keep this as drugstore as possible. So I'm going to use the Rimmel Natural Bronzer instead for you guys. And I'm going to take a large fluffy brush. I already have a pretty thin face, so I'm not really someone who likes to contour their cheekbones that much. For now, I'm just using bronzer more to give me color. Now, why I love this Rimmel bronzer is it is completely matte, and that's what I love. So it gives you color without giving you that extra glow. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I do prefer bronzers that have more of a satin finish. Like, I never like bronzers that are full-on sparkly, glittery. That's not my vibe, but I do like bronzers with a more satin finish because I do like this light glow that they give to your skin. But right now I'm not in that mood, so I've already used highlighter with my foundation, so I think I'm pretty good in the glow department. So I am more than comfortable using a matte bronzer to sort of give my skin some color. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to move towards the eyes. And again, like I said, I want to keep things as drugstore as possible, but I know I'm going to use some products that are not as easily available in Pakistan at least. So bear with me. And you can order all of this stuff from online pages. You can order this from Chic Circle PK. You can order this from Glamour Gallery. I mean, there's so many pages you can order these products from, so not to worry. The eyeshadows that I'm going to use in my crease are going to be my Makeup Geek. These are single eyeshadows. I'm obsessed with them. I ordered 6 of these and I've kind of been using them pretty non-stop lately. So the first shadow that I'm going to use is the shade Frappe. And I'm going to apply this using my Morphe G24 brush. I don't know if they make this brush anymore because I was trying to order another one online from their Morphe site and I couldn't find it anywhere. So let me know if you guys are aware of this brush and whether it still exists. I'm going to take this eyeshadow and I'm just going to take it into my crease and a little bit above it. Then I'm going to move into a slightly darker color, which is called Cabin Fever, also by Makeup Geek. And using the same brush, I'm going to apply it more into the crease this time. In the spirit of keeping all things drugstore, I pulled out a very old Wet n Wild palette. This is in the shade 738 Comfort Zone. So this I have not used in the longest time, but I remember I was very excited when I bought it because it had mad reviews and because I just thought the colors were so pretty. So I'm going to use this today and I'm going to enjoy taking a trip down memory lane with you guys. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the crease shade, which is this one over here. I'm going to take this all across my eyelid. This is a very inexpensive palette. And I remember I was very happy with its pigmentation when I got it. So I'm just going to take it all across my lid, as you can see. The only problem with this eyeshadow palette is it has no matte shades. So the mattes you have to substitute from elsewhere. I'm going to take the crease shade, so this shade right here, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to apply this in my outer corner. I'm going to take the same definer color, which was the shimmery chocolatey brown kind of color. I'm going to apply that along my lower lash line, so kind of like this. And then I'm going to take my Sigma E36 blending brush, which is like the tiniest blending brush in the world, and I'm just going to blend it out. I'm going to take a little bit of what was the shade? Cabin Fever. And I'm going to blend this out, my lower lash line. I'm also going to take a little bit of Frappe again, and I'm going to apply that slightly on top of Cabin Fever and directly underneath, so that everything looks very seamless and well blended on the lower lash line. Kind of like that. I did plan on using this Pressed Metal Chrome Eye Mousse by J-Cat Beauty just because this color is so amazing and it really like gives that wow factor to your looks. So I'm thinking of applying that. But where will I apply it? Okay, let's apply just a little bit of this on the center. And see how that looks. is such beautiful product. Love that. Okay, now I'm going to take an e.l.f. brush. I don't think this has a name, but this is what it looks like. Sort of like a smudger brush. The matte black I'm going to take is from the Comely Sumaya Jasper Beads palette, just because it is such a gorgeous intense black, and I'm going to take that along my lash line and sort of use this as a smudgy eyeliner. I'm also going to take the black and apply it very close to my bottom lash line and only on the outside area, so only on the outer third of my eye. Alright, lastly on the brow bone, I'm going to take the highlight shade which says brow bone right here, and I'm going to take this on a Sigma Flat Definer E15 brush, which looks like this. Alright, so this is giving us a nice subtle highlight. I'm also going to take a pencil brush, which is the Sigma Pencil E30. And I'm going to take the same highlight shade and I'm going to take it along my lower tear duct. So it just sort of lifts this inner corner a little bit. Then we're going to move on to mascara and lashes, and the mascara that I'm going to be using is actually by Deck of Scarlet, which is sort of like a subscription brand, and they sent me one of their palettes. I think it was the edition 9 palette, and the palette was beautiful and I loved the mascara, so I still use it. I kind of like how this is looking. If I really wanted to make my eye makeup look very smoky, I would apply kajal in my waterline, but I don't know, I kind of like how this looks on its own, so we're going to keep it at that. The lashes that I'm going to be using are lashes by Eyeshadow, and my style is got it from my mama. This lash style just suits me so much. I'm going to apply these lashes off camera and I will see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so the eye makeup is done and I actually really like how it turned out. Can I just mention this again? I love these JCat Press Metal eye mousses. They give you the look of glitter on your eyes without being glittery, which is just perfect, because as much as I love using glitters, I know glitters can be a little bit of a mess and they have a lot of fallout, and you just have to be very careful when you're applying them, especially loose glitters. But these are so inexpensive, and not all their shades are as glittery as this one. This one is the shade Houdini, if I've not already mentioned that. But I don't know, you guys, can you see how beautiful that looks and how beautifully they catch the light? So these are a huge recommendation. You guys should definitely check these out. Alright, now we're going to move on to face, and I've already brushed most of the excess powder that I had under my eyes. And now we are going to move on to blush and highlight. Okay, so for blush, again, trying to use affordable options here, I'm going to use the Rimmel London blush in 90 Coral. And I am going to use a big angled brush to apply this. This is actually one of the first blushes I ever purchased. Not this one in particular, like I've repurchased this one at least 3 times, but this is the first shades I ever purchased on my own. I saved up my pocket money and I went to Shayan and F6 with my mom, and I picked this out and I bought it for myself out of my own money. So this shade just has a very special place for me in my heart. And on top of this, I'm going to apply the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Blush in the shade Make Love Instead. I'm going to apply this using the same brush. I am applying this one on top of the Rimmel one because this one has a nice sheen to it. Can you see that? So I like how this one catches the light just a little bit. And of course we are going to highlight on top. And to highlight, I'm going to be using this new Wet n Wild brush that I got. This is called P75. And I am going to highlight with another Makeup Revolution product. Like, I'm telling you guys, I'm really loving this brand. So this is the palette I'm going to be using. And I am going to use, I'm going to be using this shade, which is like a champagne-ish color. I'm going to be using this on the high points of my cheeks. So let's see if the camera can pick this up. And now we're going to move on to lipstick. I'm not someone who loves liquid lipsticks. Most of you who follow me on Instagram already know that. But when I do want to wear liquid lipsticks, I'm really enjoying this Pakistani brand. It's called NYX Cosmetics. I talk about this a lot. I rave about this a lot. And I particularly like this color called Peachy Pie. I wanted to choose a color that sort of ties in with my eye look. And my eye look is pretty intense. So I want to keep my lipstick looking a little neutral, a little pretty, a little fresh, and that's why I'm going to go with Peachy Pie today. The best part is that these liquid lipsticks come in a lip kit, so you get like the liquid lipstick along with an eyeliner, wow, along with the lip liner that matches, and the lip liner is super smooth and creamy, so it's honestly like zero effort applying it. So right now I took the shade Peachy Pie and I literally just outlined my lips following the natural lip shape. But now I'm going to take a Luscious Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Caramella, and I'm going to slightly increase the size of my lips. So I'm going to go over the lip liner that I just applied with the darker lip liner to give my mouth more dimension and to make my lips appear bigger than they are. And you have to be really careful when you're doing this, because if you overdo this, then it's going to look really obvious. And we want our lips to look naturally bigger. We don't want to give them the appearance of being overdrawn. So we're being a little sneaky right now. And now taking the liquid lipstick in Peachy Pie. Sorry about that. As I applied the lip shade, I made sure I went over the lip liner that I applied. So the darker lip liner that I applied, I made sure that I went over it so as to cover it and still look natural. Okay guys, so this is it. This is the final look. I really hope you guys love it as much as I do, because I actually genuinely really like this look. And maybe a few years from now, when I look back at my first YouTube video, I hopefully will not be completely embarrassed by the look that I created. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. But thank you so much for all the support you've given me. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, thank you so much for encouraging me to do this. Like, you guys have no idea. Your support has always meant a lot, and I hope you like the content that I create for you guys on YouTube as well. And hopefully I will see you all very soon in my next video. Take care. And I completely forgot to say this. Please do subscribe to my channel and do like the video and do ring the bell. That will notify you every time I post, so that you don't miss any of my videos. And I love you all so much.